And welcome back to Janky AF. Well, we spend so much time talking about Aerostars here on Janky AF and Year of the Aerostar, and we're celebrating 100 episodes, so I thought, why not drive an Aerostar for a change? So here we are in my 1993 Ford Aerostar Sport. We have a very special occasion that we're going to that I'll tell you about along the way. And I even waited for all of you back there watching in computer land to give it a cold start. So it's been a couple days since I've started her up. Fire's right up. Now turn the beautiful radio down. The car likes to beep. The airbag light comes on and off. It says one of the doors is ajar, but I think we'll just drive with it that way. It's probably the sliding door of the rear hatch. And I'll go over some of the, the various pieces of jank about this vehicle along the way, but put it into drive. Also the shifter linkage I feel like is a little bit sloppy because it doesn't line up perfectly with the the little gauge, the needle. So we are just exiting my lawn here, and we are on our way over to a very special event every year. Some friends and I, we've been doing it since we were teenagers or preteens, playing baseball in my backyard. And along the way, sort of a very janky field was built. And as people moved away and their lives got busier and they had significant others and sometimes kids, it got harder and harder to see one another. So, we sort of enshrined this date every year where we would come back and play once a year. So we play this sort of modified version of baseball using tennis balls and plastic bats. And you'll see in the corner here a very fallen apart cane chair, and this has become the MVP trophy. It's sort of a joke, and my mom was just looking to get rid of crap, and we started doing these trophy presentations. And since then it has become a very, very lauded piece of jank, I guess. And last year I won the trophy. So as maybe you can hear me over the exhaust leak in this Aerostar. So I am delivering the trophy back. I've had a year with it. It's been wonderful. We'll see. You never know. I have played pretty well this year. We do it 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, high noon till whenever we, sort of can't stand it anymore. Our bodies are falling apart. But I want to bring it back, and present it to the next person, whoever that may be. So we're on our way over to the field right now. We'll get that out of the way, just because it's a nice thing. I want to talk about it and give you all some context to the drive today. You can see this just absolutely gorgeous, upstate New York rolling hills around us. I love this area. It's a beautiful day. It rained all day yesterday. The Aerostar turns out not watertight. It is parked outside right now, and it does sort of, all the usual spots. If you go on any sort of Aerostar forum, or those of you that have them, it seems like the roofs on these leak quite a bit, and these top windowsills. So you can feel a little bit of dampness down on your floor mat, particularly right by your, door ledge there. And it's a shame. Now this doesn't leak nearly as bad as my brown one, I will say that. So it's a little bit better. But, the water gets in there and it just starts rotting stuff out. I've heard people say you really don't want to look behind all this plastic paneling. There's a reason that it warps. And, the only thing I'll say is, rust on the top of the vehicle seems better than rust on the, the undercarriage of a vehicle, because that's when it really starts to get eaten away. It becomes an issue. There is a little bit of rust on the roof of this vehicle. But this isn't really a proper review. We'll do that at some point. I just wanted to get out and drive it for one, and bring it down to the stadium. So some of my friends that's the name of our thing, but I'll probably bleep that out. I just wanted to bring it down to the baseball field and show all my friends. Because, they've seen it in pictures. A lot of them haven't seen it. So it's a bit of a mini car show. A good buddy of mine that lives in Australia now, he has a BMW 2002, 1974, so he brings that. Shout out to Shane. And So just go for a little cruise. And I wanted to talk, it's been a while. It's been, I went overseas. Thank you so much. Thank you to everyone who watched episode 100 and who commented. Really appreciate it. I got so much stuff in the works, but it's been really busy because you get home. I had a crazy night in New York City, which I'll probably talk about in episode 101. And not like in a party way, like in a, pure cold, hard logistics, sleeping in a bus station way. But finally got back up here, had to go straight back to work. And then I was lucky enough to take off Friday, but then 3 straight days of playing baseball, so my body's beat up. I'm not complaining, it's been amazing. But, there's just been only so many hours in a day. And brakes on the Aerostar actually feel really great. And that's one thing that when I got this vehicle back, so I bought this vehicle for $1,500 as I completely derailed my train of thought. On my way back from picking up another car that I had bought, and I'll go into all that, and some of you might know already if you've watched some of my past videos. And I almost made it home, but I didn't quite make it home, and I'm 0 for 2 driving Aerostars back from purchase now, which is not great, but I guess it's a badge of honor. We're gonna swing in here and test out the a little bit of body roll. So I did have to do a valve cover gasket, but I got off pretty good. I thought maybe it was like a rear main seal or something like that, and it's driving great now. It actually runs really cold. It rarely heats it, rarely even gets into the, now hopefully my gauge isn't broken, but I don't think it is, because I think when you sit there and idle, you'll start to see it creep up. So, I don't know if it's just the aerodynamics of the Aerostar, but it seems to run pretty good. Everything looks good on it. It does have the exhaust leak, but the brakes feel good. So I was doing the shakedown test. I took it up to Utica with my buddy, which is about an hour away, and for me these days that's like a pretty long trip in an Aerostar, because that's a whole other subject too, but and it's something I have to address, but I haven't been driving my cars enough. I have this Prius now, and I just get so used to having the luxury of that car that it's a major problem. But anyways, I took a great trip to Utica. The car did great. It was the shakedown test. On the way back, we kind of smelled something, and we stopped, pulled over, opened the hood, looked at everything, and just the idiots that we are, we got home, we realized the emergency brake was on. So I drove there's a little fox, I wonder if the cameras picked that up. Drove an hour home with the e-brake on the whole time, and the brakes feel fine. And so it was the ultimate shakedown test if you think about it, because we really abused the vehicle, and still it seems to be doing fine. So maybe the e-brake was loose in the first place and it didn't work that well. I doubt it works very well anymore. But here we are. So I felt bad that I hadn't gotten anything out in a while. I will be getting stuff out soon, but I just wanted to drive the vehicle and take you all for a ride and just celebrate 100 episodes. Now, 100 episodes is great, but we're only, less than a third of the way there towards our ultimate goal of having 365 or 366 if you count leap day episodes of the Year of the Aerostar. And if you're new to this channel for whatever reason, welcome. And we're just documenting all the Ford Aerostars for sale on the classifieds that we can, and it's both a critique on the Ford Aerostar and also a critique on sort of classifieds culture, Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, all these places where people list their own vehicles for sale. And it's very funny to dig into all the language and the grammar and sort of the sociology of it, how aggressive a seller is, how lazy they are, or how fastidious they are and how honest they are. It goes both ways. The person I bought this Aerostar from, I found this on Craigslist. I cold called him, and he went above and beyond to accommodate me and make this sale possible. So, for all the hardy hars and the no lowballers and I know what I got and all that, there's also people out there who are just good, honest people. I bought this car for $1,500. I didn't even I didn't even dicker on him with the price because I thought it was a fair price. It's got 119,000 miles on it. He was daily driving it at the time. And I actually paid a good friend of mine, and shout out to John from Green Schwinn, to take a Greyhound bus out to Columbus, Ohio, to drive the car all the way back to Buffalo. And then later, because I couldn't make it there, I went out to Buffalo and took it the rest of the way home, or almost all the rest of the way home. And it did great for him. And that's the funny thing, because the first brown Aerostar I bought, I paid my good buddy Chris, and shout out to Chris Dermond, who was in Georgia at the time, to go to Alabama. He drove it back to Alabama, from Alabama to Georgia. And the funny thing about that is he made it fine, and then when I tried to drive it back, it broke down. So that's the great thing about the Aerostar. You know, it'll leave me stranded, but it won't leave my friends stranded. So I really appreciate that, because I would have felt horrible if it left any of them stranded. Here we are winding through the brilliant upstate hills. And again, this will be a short video, and I'm rambling. I know I'm talking a mile a minute and not maintaining any sort of train of thought, but I'm driving an Aerostar, and that always makes me feel good. It always gets me excited. And, you know, to go back to episode 100, is this a classic car? Of course it's a classic car. If you get in it and it makes you feel something, then it's a classic car. And it happens to be 25 years older, you know, according to New York State. So maybe I'll drive down to the field here, give you a little tour, show you our Janky baseball field, and it's really a wonderful thing to, you know, to be able to, and this is the other great thing about classic cars, to show up at like an event with people and celebrate the car. Now you'll see on one of the cameras that I have fixed the hole, the giant gaping hole of sheet metal that was in this vehicle. And when I say fixed, I mean I've put, you know, about 8 sheets of gray duct tape over it. But this being a Cayman green metallic over silver two-tone vehicle, that actually works quite well. And actually from a distance, it makes it, appearance-wise, it makes it look a lot better. So as we said, we got a big rain day yesterday. But here's our little baseball field. You know, it's completely DIY. We started doing this when we were kids, and it's something special that I want to show you all, and from behind the seat of an Aerostar. So we have people come collect here, we do potluck, bring some food, and there's lots of spectators that come, parents and friends. And, you know, the field is completely unlevel. There's rocks in part of it. Our foul poles are made out of sticks. And all this wood, you know, has just been harvested off the land, just scrap wood from dead trees that were falling down. We found fences that were sitting on the side of the road for free. We did invest a little bit. We have a skybox up here. So we actually have a raised bleacher. We have the brown monster, similar to Fenway Park's green monster. And it's a beautiful, beautiful field. So we play a modified version of baseball. We play with a tennis ball and a stuffed plastic bat. And I gotta tell you, if you're a fan of baseball, it's amazing. The dynamics are actually quite good in terms of the ratio of hits and home runs. You know, the field's a little choppy, but it makes for very interesting plays. And I would say the major change from regular baseball, which actually harkens back all the way to like town ball, the origins of baseball, the precursor to baseball, is that you can actually throw the ball and peg someone because it's a tennis ball, so it's okay. I actually got smashed in the face on a line drive from my brother yesterday, but I'm completely fine. So it's actually a very nice version of baseball here. We did invest a little bit in a dugout. Some material was bought for that, and we have some carpenter friends that helped us put that together. We have a backstop. And, you know, we paint the lines every year, so it's, you know, it's pretty official, it's pretty legit. And it's just a really, really great time. And so the fact that we're doing that this weekend and also celebrating 100 episodes a year of the Aerostar, you know, I'm just very, very lucky, and I just want to take some time to reflect on that and realize, you know, no one's just, you know, drowning in money here at Janky AF, but we like our old janky cars, and we like talking about them. We like talking about Aerostars, and, you know, just to have something in life that you're enthusiastic about, I think is a gift. And, you know, a lot of friends back this weekend, get to see everyone and hang out and spend time with each other, the things that really matter in life. So I'm gonna, you know, celebrate being an MVP for a year. I never thought I'd win this chair. I was always more of a ground ball hitter, not really a power hitter. As I'm going to try to park the Aerostar right here to do a little photo shoot with it with my MVP trophy, and we'll send those pics along to you as I gloat a little bit. Quite honestly, that's probably pretty good. I'm sure the people will love this when there's a car parked on the field. So there you go. You know, I'm rambling again. We'll talk about the actual Aerostar and the nuts and bolts of it sometime. I need to get an inspection on it. But it's running, it's driving, it feels great. And I just wanted to, you know, do a quick little video to say hello and tell you there are more episodes coming soon, and we got a couple other celebratory things that we're gonna do to celebrate the milestone. Just a good excuse to get some more like sort of oddball Aerostar videos out there. And of course, we'll have more episodes of Year of the Aerostar, celebration of the Ford Aerostar. So there you go. Wow, just great to drive it and great to spend a little time in an Aerostar. Did great on the trip over, so hoping to do some longer trips with it soon. Obviously it's full of crap, you can see that. So the carrying capacity of the Aerostar, we got wicker chairs in here and a vacuum and backpacks and shoes and extra boxes and storage, and you know, never lacking. If you have an Aerostar, you have a spare storage unit. You know, that's the other good thing about it. So there you have it. I'll leave you there. Thank you so much for watching. Janky do Thanky. We really appreciate it. And we'll have more episodes of Year of the Aerostar coming up very soon for you. And until then, Janky do Thanky. Uh-oh. Well, Aerostar broke down. Had a great weekend playing baseball. As you can see, I'm still in my baseball uniform. And started driving, had a rear ABS light, and then had the speedometer blipped out on me, went blank. Still driving fine, so I figured out, take it home, only 5-10 minutes away. And then my gas didn't work, so I had no gas, but still had brakes, luckily. And then made it right to this corner here and realized my brakes were going out. So limped her over to the side of the road. We're gonna call Haggerty. Yeah, an interesting ending to that episode. Didn't see that coming. So, what are you gonna do? Old cars, they break down sometimes. Not like it hasn't happened before. So I needed an inspection anyway, so I guess I'll get it towed to the shop and we'll see what's wrong with it. All right, well, Janky no Thanky, but you know, Janky do Thanky.
One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.